It's exciting. Opportunity to start the World Cup against England. It's a huge game for our fans. It's a great way to start the World Cup. I know our players will be thrilled.
Well, it's very exciting, obviously, to open up with England. For us, it's a natural rival and a long history, both as countries and between the federations. So they're exciting in a group, as Bob has said a few times, that we have a chance to go through, and you look at it and say it's a fair draw.
We think back to the game in Wembley, a game where we learned a lot, but didn't play as well as we can. We've grown a lot since then, so tremendous way to start.
The history between the countries. We've got a natural alliance with English speaking. We've got so many players that have played in the Premier League. We've got David Beckham playing in MLS, David and Landon being teammates, the 1950 result. So all of that going for it. It's the number one stop for Americans abroad is England. So there's a natural rivalry, a natural alliance at the same time.
Algeria and Slovenia are not big names, but both did very well to get to the World Cup. Algeria came on strong at the end with their games versus Egypt, and Slovenia had a terrific playoff series against Russia. So good opponents, but a fair group and a great way to start.
From a planning perspective, we couldn't plan it any better. So it's a terrific thing that we're going to play in 3 venues that we've played in this past summer, and we obviously had some success over the summer at the Confederations Cup. So I think that's a big plus. There's no travel, no flights in between games, which is terrific for us. So all in all, that's a big advantage for us, I think.
Everything about the Confederations Cup helps us. We spent our time in the Pretoria area. Now we've looked at base camps in that area. We've played in these stadiums. It doesn't require much travel, so I think it's a great opportunity to take advantage of everything we learned last summer in the Confederations Cup.
You know, I don't know if there was any super groups of death and so on. People have looked at the Brazil-Portugal group and said that's an interesting one. I think one of the unique things that happened is the sort of one non-seeded superpower, if you will, ended up in the group that had South Africa. So while originally one would have said maybe that's going to be slightly easier because you've got the host and they're not a top power, although they're playing at home, when France went into that group, it changed pretty dramatically. So in some ways, you end up with 2 seeded teams in that group.
I think it was balanced. You sit there, there's so many thoughts going through your head, obviously focusing on our situation, but when you step back at the end, it has the makings for a tremendous World Cup.